Welcome to Grit with Wisdom. This is the podcast that delves deep into the inner psyche of mountain bikers from all walks of life in order to discover the tools and the tactics that can help us have more fun out on the trails more often. Our aim here is to help you understand what it takes to push our own personal boundaries in the sport we love from a mental and emotional perspective. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Voice of the People episode of the Grit with Wisdom podcast. In today's episode, we were back down at the BC Bike Show for day 2 down in Vancouver, where we got to speak to a whole bunch more riders and kind of dig into their perspective behind some common challenges they have on the bike and some of the mental tools they're using to deal with those challenges. So listen in today as we dive into questions such as, what has been people's biggest mental challenge in riding? Do they get into the flow state? And if so, how do they do that? Or what do they think or do directly after having a crash? And I threw in a bit of a bonus question in this one to keep it light, keep it fun. We asked people if they had to choose between never being able to clean their bike again after a ride or never being able to shower again after a ride, which would it be? So listen in as we have some fun and do what we do best. We talk about mindset and we talk about bikes. Enjoy. When it comes to mindset and mountain biking, what's been one of your biggest challenges?
Probably like the risk of danger, like for mountain biking, and knowing like, you know, if you don't conquer it, like you can get seriously injured.
Finding the time and motivation to go out and do it. It's always raining here.
Probably through racing and being able to like, is it still worth paying money and training to go racing to come mid-pack? I'd say, yeah. So yeah, probably stuff around racing and whether it's and whether it kind of like adds to your riding or whether you'd rather just go on like trips with friends and stuff, that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's actually like a really challenging question. I think just like learning to switch your like mindset off, not overthink everything, and then just like going for it.
Yeah, I'm curious, do you ever get into the flow state while you're biking?
No.
No?
It's not something I have much exposure to, the idea of getting into a flow state.
Flow state all the time.
Yeah, I think for me, mountain biking a lot less, but I do a lot of like super long endurance races, so bike pack races, and I'll like totally flow state. I wouldn't even remember my day, which is flow state's a weird thing.
Not really, I'd say, but like going for riding with big groups of friends, like the weather's really good and the trails are really good, and you just want to like carry on like riding. Definitely get into those states where you like stop checking the time, stop looking at your phone, and you're like, yeah, cool, just want to like be able to ride as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if I get like a couple warm-up laps in and like I'm just feeling one with the bike, definitely enter a flow state.
Play every time. That's the goal. Yeah.
That's good on.
Yeah, you have to. I think. Yeah.
So how do you do that?
That's I think that just comes along with experience.
And, you know, is there anything that you do specifically to like try and get into that state?
Oh, yeah, fuel properly.
Fuel, yeah.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're fueled or else you're not going to feel confident when you start going down.
Totally that. Words of wisdom right there, I love that. What do you think or do directly after a crash?
Make sure you don't have a concussion. Everything else is good, you just keep going.
Well, directly after a crash, assess the damage and severity of damage. So first off, can I walk? From where am I bleeding and how much?
Stupidly enough, it's always like, is the bike okay?
Yeah.
If I'm awake, is just the bike okay? Which is so dumb, but
Probably we'll be like, okay, don't try anything really hard again today.
Yep.
Yeah, like if it's a bad crash, then would chill for the rest of the day, but then immediately next time we go riding, make sure I come back and I ride that thing again and do it without crashing very quickly. Otherwise, if you wait too long, you'll come back to it in like 2 months time and you'll be like, oh yeah, I had a bad crash on this.
I don't know, assess like how your body is, how you're feeling, right?
And then know like not like kind of know your limits, and then know when to push them after. Yeah.
If you had to choose between never being able to wash your bike again after a ride or never being able to shower again after a ride, what would it be?
oh man, definitely the shower for sure. You can't ride a dirty bike, man. That's not gonna work.
The bike. I need a shower. Yeah, the bike can go unwashed.
Well, I wouldn't wash my bike. Usually I let the rain do that.
Probably wash the bike.
Oh, that's a really tough one. That's a tough one because a clean bike is a fast bike.
Bike for the comfort of others around me.
Yeah, so leave the bike dirty. I love it, man.
Sweet.
Thanks so much.
Thanks very much.
That was... What's up, guys? Just one last thing before you hit the trails. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to subscribe and don't be a stranger. I'd love to hear from you about any topics, particular episodes you enjoyed, and even about any guests that you'd like to hear me have on the show in the future. You can find me on Instagram at the_mind_mountain. This podcast, mountain biking, and mindset are all things that are very, very close to my heart. So I feel super grateful to be able to share these conversations with you. Much love to you all for taking the time to listen. See you next time.